I love creeping thyme. It's one of my favorite ground cover plants. This compact elfin thyme does well with foot traffic. That means it can work as a lawn replacement if you don't want to deal with mowing grass. The problem is, the more area you try to cover, the more expensive it gets. Just a single plant may cost $6. But don't worry, I'll show you how easy it is to propagate creeping thyme from cuttings. No need to buy dozens of plants. This can save you hundreds of dollars. So how do we get from this to this? Let's get started. First, when will you take your cuttings? Some sites recommend late spring or summer for thyme cuttings. For this elfin creeping thyme, I took mine at the end of November. This allowed me to grow indoors over the winter so that come spring, I had big plants that were ready to go. Unlike regular thyme, where you might be trying to snip green softwood, I cut pieces with woody stems. This is a fairly small plant, and each piece was only a few inches long. Some were just the smallest of strands. I brought them inside, laid them out, and began preparing them. I carefully plucked off the lower leaves. You can strip the lower third or up to half of the stem length. Just be careful to leave the stem intact. You can give it a gentle rinse to clean it up, and then dip the stripped portion of the stem into some rooting hormone. At this point, the cutting is prepared and it just needs to be placed in an incubation chamber. I like to get a small container of vermiculite. Make sure to water the vermiculite. It should be very wet without getting to the point that it becomes a soup. Make a wee little hole and insert the entire stripped portion of the cutting. Let's be honest. Did these little pieces really seem like they'll be able to grow into a full-blown plant? You'll see. These thyme cuttings are ready to go, but they need one last thing. I pop on a humidity dome. Why is this so important? If you've read my book, you understand that humidity can have a big impact on plants. Well, in this instance, we want to crank up the humidity to ensure that the cuttings don't dry out. This way, we can put them under a light and just leave them be. No need to water. You shouldn't have to touch them for at least 4 weeks, or at most 2 months. These few cuttings sat there neglected for 10 weeks. They started out small, but look how much root structure developed. Meanwhile, in this other small container, I had squeezed 31 thyme cuttings. Propagating in a clear container is nice because you may spot roots running along the edge. At this point, my first batch of cuttings looked great. Out of 31 pieces, most of these guys looked promising. Even if there was just a tiny piece of root, I figured I'd give it a shot. I filled some 2-inch cell packs with standard potting mix. Make a hole and pop in your cuttings. We're not done though. Once I got the thyme under the lights, do you notice that the cuttings tend to stick straight up? This is a ground cover, it should spread out. So what can you do? I got some twisty ties and snipped them into short pieces. Then I bent them to make a little pin. This allowed me to anchor the cuttings into the soil. As the stem touches the soil, it makes little roots which help to strengthen the plant. The plants soon took off. To get nursery quality plants though, they needed a pot upgrade. Have you seen my video on this Wicking planter system? It automatically watered these 3.5-inch pots, helping the thyme to grow lush and full. People may worry about overwatering their thyme, but in this system, my thyme stayed consistently moist and it grew very quickly. The lights were nice and bright with light levels around 600 ppfd. That was 70 watts of LEDs over a 25 by 16 inch area. The temperature in the grow room was mid-70s the entire time. The whole process from start to finish has been less than 4 months. How do you think this all turned out? I was really amazed at how easy it is to propagate creeping thyme, and it worked better than I could have imagined. With 29 out of 31 cuttings, that's a 94% success rate. This saved me $174. I hope these tips save you some money as well, while ensuring good success. Thanks for watching this video, and for all your support on my channel. Please subscribe if you haven't, and I'd like to wish you happy gardening.